Welcome back to Tune Into Tarot, and today I will be doing the April 2021 reading for all Cancer, Sun, Moon, or Rising signs. This reading will be relevant for you. So the first week of the month, we have the Eight of Wands reversed, and the Eight of Wands in the upright position has to do with things moving very quickly, fast-paced, darting from here, there, and everywhere, all over the map. A lot of activity and action. So in the reverse position, you might expect that things would be a little bit on the slower side of things, or you might encounter some delays. It can also indicate in the upright position air travel. So you might find that you run into some delays in air travel. I know we're in kind of the spring break territory right now, early April. So you may run into some delays with your traveling. But also, just in general, kind of there could be a little bit of a slower pace, or you might need some extra coffee in the first week of April. Now, the second week, we have the Six of Cups reversed. And in the upright position, the Six of Cups often will have to do with fond memories from the past or pleasant childhood memories. There are children in the card, so it can indicate in a more of a general sense that you're interacting with kids or children. It could be that you're flying, you're traveling to visit your family, or you're just visiting family in the second week, possibly. In the reverse position, though, it can indicate more negative memories from the past or some childhood trauma or issues surfacing in the second week. And so those might need to be worked out. But I'm seeing this card sort of play out in a few different ways. So in one way, I can see how maybe you're having some epiphanies in the second week in regards to some early childhood conditioning, and sort of how you carry yourself or conduct yourself now as an adult. And I'm also seeing it as going back to someone in an old relationship, or just the return of an ex, or just going back to a relationship that's kind of been in a cyclical pattern, and how it could show up as kind of this toxic relationship. And I had this thought in the shower earlier today around toxic relationships and kind of what makes it toxic. It's not necessarily the person or the people involved. They're not necessarily coming from like a malicious space or have malevolent intentions, but it just could be the pattern that's playing out that's toxic. If it's preventing you from pursuing things that are really for your highest good, if it's getting in the way of your growth, then you have to go. I heard a phrase earlier that was like, it was grow or go. So if this relationship is preventing you from growing, it's time to go. And but to kind of speak more to the idea of toxic relationships, because what came through during my shower reflections, or the little drips of insight that came in regards to toxic relationships, when there's an energy current between two people in a partnership, I'm seeing one half of the current is acting as a medicine. So it's healing, and it's nourishing, and it's comforting, and it's taking away pain to some extent for a lot of people. On the other half of that energy current, it's acting as a drug. And when you think of a drug, more of the kind of the negative connotation is dependency and addiction. And so the way that this partnership could be playing out is that it kind of has these addictive qualities to it, or you've kind of built this dependency on it, where you get these hits where it's like you need to see this person or be with this person in order to feel exhilaration, and in order to like bring color and vibrancy to your world. And when that person is no longer in your presence, or when that drug is no longer in your system, then it creates this sense of loss and the pain comes back, and sometimes it's even worse pain. It's like exacerbated than compared to what the pain was before. And it can create this panic, almost like, when are you going to get your next hit? When are you going to see this person again? Or is that it? Was that the last time? And there's kind of this panic that can bubble up for some people in that kind of drug-like addiction to love. So those ideas were kind of coming through. And then the other idea was that what is it that you're trying to derive from this relationship or a toxic partnership? Is it or any love or romantic relationship? Is it this need for attention? Is it to feel desirable and wanted and worthy of love? It's like having someone there to do that is somehow satisfying you and feeding you on an egotistical level. So I feel like part of what this card is saying is we need to work that out within ourselves, is like find within ourselves how we can feel worthy and lovable and desirable without having to or relying on or depending on someone else to provide that for us. So that's what I was getting with that card. So there's kind of a lot going on, but it could just be that you're traveling to see your family. But why is it in the reverse position? So maybe there's a delay getting to your family, or maybe you get to your family and the kids are acting up and it's just maybe not as pleasant as you were anticipating. But really, it's more of a relationship focus is what I'm seeing in this particular reading. Now, on the third week, we've got the Page of Pentacles. And in the reverse position, you can see that the pentacle is like he's holding on to it, but he's almost in the process of letting it go. And so sometimes what can come with this card is the message of, relax your grip and let go. And so I'm thinking it's like reiterating the fact that we need to let go of whatever this toxic relationship is that's playing out or has been playing out for years, possibly off and on. So tune into that this month. And the fact that the page is looking towards the Six of Cups sort of seconds that idea that maybe even being sort of locked in to this toxic relationship could be preventing your growth. And one thing that comes with the Page of Pentacles reversed is it can indicate laziness. So this could be like you're working on a project or a business, especially with the Pentacles. It could indicate a business venture or some kind of business project or something related to making money. It could indicate that you're feeling lazy and unmotivated. And I'm wondering if it's because partially due to this relationship tie that is detracting and distracting from your pursuits on more of a business track. Or it could be that you're not feeling like you can grow within this relationship, and somehow that's preventing you from embodying the highest version of yourself. Because in the last position of the month, we have the King of Wands, and the King of Wands is a card of leadership and of vision, and it's like you're enlisting the help of other people to help bring your vision to fruition. And it's a very powerful card, and I'm almost seeing that this is your highest version. This is the highest version of you, and you're not able to get there unless you let go of what's holding you back in this toxic relationship. Or it could be early childhood conditioning that's just, you're now kind of realizing how that's playing out as an adult, and it's something that needs to be addressed. in order for you to embody the highest version of yourself. Yeah, so yeah, you need to let go of the early childhood conditioning, or the early childhood or early relationships that have continued, or these patterns that have continued in relationship. It's time to let go of that, so that you can embody the highest version of yourself as the King of Wands. Wow, I feel like out of breath from going through that reading. But ultimately, you're going to get there. You're going to get to your highest version. But you need to work through some things. But the fact that the King and the Page are looking towards the Six of Cups reversed, I'm feeling like this is a major focus of the month, is whatever issue is kind of bubbling up, whether it's relationship or your early childhood conditioning or early childhood trauma of some kind. It's an issue that needs to be worked out in order for you to fully embody the highest version of you in the King. Okay, that's all I got for you, Cancer, and I will talk to you next month for your next... What's next month? Let's see, April, May. Okay, so for your May reading, I will talk to you then.